Before I decided to create this video, I searched deep for every Metroidvania ever created, and you would not believe what titles are under Metroidvania name. Even Batman Arkham series is, somehow. In my eyes, the perfect example of Metroidvania is a mix of Castlevania and Metroid games. So, very few true Metroidvanias are available on the market right now. In the last 30 years or so, people keep mixing roguelites like Dark Devotion or Dead Cells and put them into Metroidvania genre. Metroidvania genre has backtracking and it doesn't teleport you at the start of the game once you die. It's simple as that. It needs to have constant progression, it needs to be 2D, it needs to have backtracking, secrets, puzzles, boss fights. That's what Metroidvania is, after all. So, after we cleared those rules, here are the top 10 Metroidvanias ever created till 2022. This video counts for that. Number 10. Tales of Iron, short and sweet Metroidvania, voice acted by none other than Geralt of Rivia himself. Amazing art style, great music and epic voice acting, with amazing narration, with challenging combat and a very funny story. Tons of bosses, solid amount of secrets and backtracking. Great Metroidvania for casual players to start and learn the genre. Number 9. Guacamelee 1 and 2, hilarious game. Cheerful, full with backtracking and combat, rich with colors. Both parts of Guacamelee are great and they're very similar. So, spot number 9 goes to Luchador. Number 8, that's Gambit. Dark, hard, brutal, just the way how I imagine a good Metroidvania. They say how That's Gambit is in a 2 times better state than when I played it back in vanilla. I'll need to check it out, but all in all, That's Gambit is a classic Souls-like Metroidvania, so Soul players will probably love it. Number 7, Grime. Even darker than That's Gambit, better in every aspect too, Souls-like Metroidvania again with more than challenging gameplay and insane boss fights. Number 6, Salt and Sanctuary. The best Souls-like Metroidvania on the market, still the best after all these years. What is there to say about Salt? It's fun, it's addicting, it has backtracking, bosses and challenging combat, and it's equally good for both casual players and pros alike. Number 5, Ori and the Will of the Wisps and Ori and the Blind Forest. Both Oris are just beautiful Metroidvanias with amazing music and story, epic chase scenes, great boss fights. They're perfect in every aspect except challenge. This is the most user-friendly Metroidvania ever created. And now we're entering top 4 and heavy stuff, kings of the genre and games for all times, best Metroidvanias. Number 4, Blasphemous. Morbid, dark, crazy Metroidvania, full to the brim with secrets, backtracking, hidden endings, bosses, challenging enough for both casual players and pros. Blasphemous was a weird experience, but it was addictive and progressive from start to finish. It still receives DLCs and more content to this day. Number 3, The Messenger. One of the funniest games I ever played, literally. Conversations are hilarious in this game. Music is also epic. It's challenging, it starts as a platformer, and in the mid-game, it turns into a full Metroidvania experience. I can't remember the last time when I laughed so much while playing something. The Messenger is a masterpiece of all times. There is nothing like the first run of The Messenger. Number 2, Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was my favorite Metroidvania for years, or better to say, it was my favorite Metroidvania till 10 days before this video was created. Hollow Knight usage of colors should go into school books for all developers in all genres included, not only Metroidvanias. You can clearly see enemies' attacks, patterns and objects of interest, and they never melt with a background. The first game that did it to perfection was Doom 1 back in early 90s, and since then, developers can't realize how important the usage of colors actually is. But Hollow Knight devs realized that. Cheapest game ever, by the way. It was $14 on its release date. It should have been at least 60, so good job devs, you don't like money after all to create even better games, it seems like. Perfect example of perfection is what Hollow Knight is. Boss fights, backtracking, side quests, story, exploration, itemization, endgame content, everything is top notch. Number 1 and the best Metroidvania ever created, Aeterna Noctis, dethroned Hollow Knight in my eyes. Only one reason behind it, it's hardcore and brutal to the bone. I died 1,200 plus times in 70 hours run. 70 hours. It's the biggest and longest Metroidvania ever. It's still to receive its DLCs and endgame content. It's still to receive a lot of game mods to play on. Art style is just straight gorgeous. Rich story, rich narration, cinematics, tons of secrets and backtracking, amazing and hard boss fights, tough enemies, smart AI. The world of Aeterna is beautiful, all colors are covered, and when I say all, I mean it. From the depths of hell to cosmos itself with inverted controls, and the backgrounds, man, they are fucking epic. I don't know what's better. When you see the sun for the first time, when you see the stars and planets, when you encounter those chase scenes out of nowhere, tons of traps, ambushes. Platforming is also top-notch that will require a lot of skill and failure to master it. Music of Aeterna. Music is also epic, piano tunes are mesmerizing. Bosses are extremely hard also, to be honest. Aeterna Noctis is not only the hardest Metroidvania ever, it's one of the hardest and toughest games ever created. When I was done with the game, I felt like I was 2 times better player than when I started it. You have to work for every percentage of progress in Aeterna, and the rewards are great, in-game and personal satisfaction rewards. Aeterna makes a better player for those that have patience and will to suffer with it. Suffering never felt better than in Aeterna. Hardest, biggest, most beautiful Metroidvania ever is Aeterna Noctis. Masterpiece for all times, extremely underrated, and it's just a matter of time when it's gonna get its deserved glory. I have no doubt of it. Once some big streamer capable enough of finishing it picks up the game and plays it, Aeterna will launch into a freaking orbit. So those would be my top 10 Metroidvanias ever created. Believe it or not, there are no more than 20 or 30 true Metroidvanias in the last 30 years. Everything else is a mix of multiple genres. I thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.